Should be the same thing up here. I was about to say this one's usually longer and sometimes more cars, but I think it'll be good. Just don't stop on that guy's bumper to give yourself room to do all this. No foot! It's so much better than driving a van. Front brake first, then your rear brake for balance. Stand here as long as you want. Not as long as you want, but you don't need to put your feet down. Just sit there. Alright everybody, how you doing? A-Trip here. We're on a cruise to my work. This might be a good opportunity, I guess, to do a little bit more of my slow control, my No Foot Tuesday slow control videos, and basically kind of show you slow control. Obviously right now we're going 60 miles an hour. I'll have to clip this to whenever I get the stop signs or traffic a long time from now. But essentially, feet, I don't put these down unless I'm at a red light that basically just turned red. So I don't do that unless it's just turned red and I know I'm going to be there for some time. The problem with this bike here is you don't have any independent front and rear brakes. This is your front brake. This is combined. It's rear and front. I don't know how much percentage when you pull that right there, probably. So probably once you get to about, I don't know, 35-40% of your lever, that's going to actuate your front. So I know one person asked in the forum about turning slowly, and he used to always drag his rear brake like on a motorcycle, and he's been trying to do the same but been having some difficulties. This thing does really slow. It does get topsy-turvy, want to pull over, like fall over. I've almost found that some of these turns I'm coming up to, if I was turning on that street, if I let off the gas and coasted up to it, braked a little, when I start into the turn, it's like it slows down too much. But as far as dragging brake, like I kind of used to, pretty much all my scooters, rear brake was definitely always my friend. I used it a crap ton. Even though knowing whatever, front brake is most of your stopping power, it always seemed like my rear brakes kind of work better, and I've always done it the way I just showed you earlier, where I clipped the rear brake a couple times to flash my tail light to let know people I'm slowing down and stopping, but then I'll go to my front brake first when you get to, and then it's kind of almost like a teeter-totter. When you get to your stop sign or stop light, you let off on the front brake as you're grabbing on the rear brake, and then balance. So as far as slow speed, it could be the same. You could drag a little rear brake. I guess what I more or less probably always have worked on is, whenever I've done that, I've always kind of just been coasting, so to speak. I haven't been given a throttle. Like a ton of people in the forum, like, I'll use your rear brake and rev it up with your throttle. Like, maybe in some instances, because like I said, I'm going too slow in some of those corners, but that's when I just kind of start to slowly give it more gas and throttle it out of there. Someone else also made a comment about the belt chirping and to hold your rear brake and rev your engine up. Don't do that. You're gonna blow out your clutch and your belt. As much as he says they're strong, you do too much, you're gonna blow it. I speak from experience. The Yamaha T-Max that I bought a long time ago, the person who owned it before me, I guess he was one of those people that kind of hid all of his YouTube videos, so to speak, and then kind of after I bought the bike, I found a couple of the videos, one of them being when the clutch, everything just completely disintegrated itself. But he also had another reason why I'm afraid to put any of these aftermarket Malossi varieties, that type of stuff in it, because he had that type of stuff in his, and I think that's exactly what he was doing. He was trying to rev it up to fucking take off, launch as hard as he could, holding the rear brake, and it exploded. So don't do that. Not a good idea. Drive down the road faster. don't rev your clutch. But as far as slow control on this thing, I will say, like I said in one other video, I've owned multiple bikes, multiple scooters. This one handles. That's on my headphones. This one handles decent, but it's certainly not the best one that I've owned. Like a lot of things, it's better a little bit faster than it is slower. So like the parking lots, like the guy was talking about, yeah, even myself, I don't know if it's just my problem, because the last few bikes or couple bikes, I've been having problems doing a U-turn in 2 parking spots, but like I'm probably doing it wrong anyway. I'm coming at it instead of like I used to, coming from the middle and then banking to the right real quick and then doing my U-turn. I'm going all the way to the edge on the right side and just trying to do a U-turn, and I'm doing it within those 2, not 4, and only half of the 2. So I'm doing it in far less space than I probably should allow myself, and I'm just going over the line. But same thing when I'm doing those. It's almost like it's a mind game. You're almost going too slow. So you don't want to be going too slow to it and get topsy-turvy, but you go too fast and you're gonna make a wider arc and not make the U-turn. But I don't know where I'm going with any of this, but slow control, definitely the rear brake is still certainly going to be your friend, but it's a little bit, I'm even a little bit, whatever, weary of it since they are linked, and I've never been one to trail brake or believe in trail braking. I still do it, I still use it from time to time, but I'm a slow in, fast out kind of guy. Like, I feel like if you're trail braking, you're entering the turn too fast, plain and simple. You can't really, you can't argue with that. If you're trail braking to slow yourself down, you went in too fast. Yes, some people will argue that it dives the front end of the motorcycle when you hit your brakes, but same thing. Like, how much pressure do you need before it see, nothing. Starts to dive when I'm 45% of the way in. I'm not hitting that much brakes entering a curve. I let up the throttle, let the engine break down, scrub a little bit more speed, you're good to go. So alright, we're finally coming to another stop sign, so same deal. Like, even though there's no one behind me, like, I usually will kind of clip that rear brake a couple times to get that light actuated. And this will be a good example because I'm going to have to wait for all these guys. So we'll see how long. Front brake into your rear brake, and then we're just going to sit here and stand here for a minute. So you can see I already failed, but you can use your rear brake and kind of alternatively with chopping that throttle a little bit. Like, basically you'll hold your rear brake to kind of balance, and then, well, that's ballsy. But then you can chop the throttle a little bit to kind of stay upright a little bit. And I'm already starting to hurt like hell. And then we'll have another stop sign coming up here in momentarily. This time I'll stare at my feet so you know I'm not putting my feet down. And then we got a slow curve over there. And that's the curve that I'm talking about. I almost coast down too slow, and then you end up kind of going too slow for the turn sometimes. Or it might be coming the other way, coming this one, but these are both right turns. Here comes the pain. Here comes the pain. I've been in pain for a couple weeks. Kind of sucks. I still got, whatever, at least a few days to. Sometimes I'll flash with that one like I just did, but If you're coming in too fast, you can use both brakes. Let up your rear, kind of plunge that. See, oop, I forgot to look at my feet, but I fell. Plunge that rear brake. Chop the throttle a little bit. This works kind of a little bit, obviously, if you're in traffic alert, it's a little bit easier, because then I can keep on doing that, and I can stand up, and I can creep at whatever. Very slow miles an hour, so maybe we'll come around the corner and do that. So I might do a little trail braking. I don't like doing it, but so let's just simulate this. We'll come to a stop or slow down a lot, and then just go slow as if you were in traffic. Plunge that rear brake, just chop that throttle. As you can see on my speedo, we're going 0. So 5 miles an hour or less. Another comment someone made, I don't know what you're talking about. We can go 0 miles an hour. You just need better throttle control and know how to use your brakes and all of the above. 0. I could sit here for miles doing that. But now let's go, and we'll probably see you much later again, because now I don't have to stop for a long time. So this is that will defeat the purpose of the whole slow control thing, because we ain't stopping. Did I put my? Yeah, I put my nice fluorescent belt on. I still want to know what that BMX or RC track is. Alright, another stop sign, and you have to stop at this one for a while, because I did get pulled over. They told me I didn't stop long enough in my van. I'm sure they're full of shit, but I wasn't going to sit there and argue with them, so same deal. Just kind of plunge that rear brake, chop the throttle to get balance again before it tips over. I'm not standing as long as I usually can, though. Probably coming in a little too fast, braking too hard initially to stop. Coming in a more controlled, slow speed. Stop. Make sure there's no trains coming. However, I have been wondering lately with me steering my steering wheel back and forth wildly if it's gonna mess up the tires or possibly headstock bolt or something. I've never had an issue with that, but it's a thought. Next up, we'll probably have to talk about, been thinking about doing another one, but we might have to talk about grip and throttle control to begin with, so that'll kind of bleed into some of this slow speed, but just precursor, as you can see, like, I barely even hold on to these handlebars. My hands are mostly kind of just, mostly kind of just wedged in there and rested. I'm not by no means whatsoever death gripping it. I don't even have my fingers wrapped around at all. I use that little crease in there, jam it in between your throttle. Sometimes you might need to turn your hand. You probably, obviously, best case scenario, get your hands to the furthest extending points of your brake levers so you have your most force when you're applying them. But then same thing as far as we won't get into it. That's another video. Prelude to the goods. Use that part of your hand wedge it right in there. Don't sit there and hold on to the handlebar. All right, we got another stop sign coming up. Right hand turn from it, followed by a curve. So same as normal. Front brake to slow yourself down first. Then hit that rear. Let go of your front. Let go of your rear. Chop the throttle. Do whatever you want to stand here as long as you want. There was no brake. I mean, I don't know. I didn't need to drag the brake for that turn or anything like that. So throttle control. Practice throttle control. You won't need to drag your brake as much. I guess that's another thing scooters are probably really good for, and there's a motovlogger, Motojitsu, I used to give shit all the time because, I don't know, he's even more arrogant than I am, and as much as a lot of the stuff he said is correct, I just kind of fear for a lot of his, we'll say, disciples. People kind of, I guess, trust him and follow him way too closely, and the crap that he teaches is more for stuff that you would be on a racetrack, like trail braking and knee dragging. Completely 100% necessary on the road to ride a motorcycle. And all these people who are beginners are trusting him and trying it out are gonna get hurt. But I don't know why I went on that tangent, but as far as scooters, I mean, I guess that's another thing that they've been a lot better for, because you don't have the clutch, so you are using more rear brake and a lot more throttle control, because instead of easing out your clutch, yes, I've ridden a motorcycle, yes, I know how to, so I know what I'm talking about. You're using throttle control. So I actually feel that's one of my strongest points, is my throttle control. Like, for example, like we're doing now. Well, I just slowed down because of the hill, but like if it was a flat ground, like I could hold the throttle steady at the exact same speed for whatever. I can creep really slow, like I've shown you. You can roll it without twisting your wrist. We'll show you that in the grip video, but the way I grip it and the what things that I do, I basically, the farthest my wrist goes down is about like that, even if I'm open and wide open. Birdies. I do wish the front brakes were a little stronger on this one. And I guess, as I mentioned, whatever, I think of posters, I'm like, the Benelli TRK 502 I had, the brakes were locking up. I eventually ended up, with whatever, let out the oil, like, get them decompressed, and then they lock right back up. It was affecting my shifting and all that stuff. I ended up taking the brake pads out of the motorcycle and was riding like that for maybe a month till I got it actually fixed, and they replaced the caliper and the pads and all that stuff. But I had no pads in my bike at all. So that's, I guess, when years later after starting riding, that's probably when I got much better at using the front brake, because as with some people, like going way back when I started riding, you hear people about, don't hit your front brake in the turn, or don't hit your front, like, you're gonna fall over. Like, nonsense. Not if you use it correctly. But yeah, I mean, I would have been one that believed the whole don't use a front brake in a turn. When even this is after saying me that I don't believe in trail braking, but it all that stuff, it can be done. Eventually we'll get to traffic, and we can hopefully, well, I know we will, but we can get some in traffic footage of not putting the feet down, creeping along with traffic. You can most certainly go under 5 miles an hour on this. I guess I should get a GPS speedo too to make whatever, to prove that's accurate. I know like old motorcycles, like once you get to a certain speed, about 35 miles an hour, they're not really 100% accurate anymore. They're very pessimistic, optimistic. They read higher than they actually are by 5, 6, 7 miles an hour, depending on how fast you're going. Like now, it's saying we're going, what, 68-ish? We're probably going 62. So like when people are stopped at stop signs, you can wait for them to do their thing. This one's a good example because there's usually multiple vehicles here. Ironically, this is what I usually cut out, is the stop signs, but that's the whole point of this one. So, that guy already took off, so it's only one again still. So, never mind, he won't be that long. Hell yeah, Scooter! What's up, baby? Woo! Yeah! Yeah! Put some gear on there, honey. You don't want to lose that beautiful face. Scrape off your buttocks. Oh yeah, forgot. So yeah, it's like that. We're sitting in traffic. I never put, no, forget it. Not necessary. Alright, so traffic bound. That light up there is red. Now green, but people are going to take forever to start moving. So you can sit there and slow that baby down. Chop your throttle, give it a little plunge of the brake, and sit here as long as you fucking want. No foot! Ow. Should be the same thing up here. I was about to say this one's usually longer and sometimes more cars, but I think it'll be good. Just don't stop on that guy's bumper to give yourself room to do all this. No foot! Alright everybody, thanks for watching here. Throw down some likes, comments, and subscribes, and I will see you all later. Peace.